Hey, hey. Welcome everybody to Miss Glow's Kitchen, where there's sugar, spice, and everything nice, where we slice, dice, and entice, using everything we can, from peppers to allspice. What's up, my people? Y'all know what time it is? See y'all in the kitchen. A Creole Jambalaya is on our menu today. So I'm going to tell you what we need to make this, but let me tell you first, starting off, that this is a Creole jambalaya, which means that this one includes tomatoes. It is a Cajun style jambalaya that does not have tomatoes in it. So, all right, I'm going to list all of these ingredients and the amount in the description box down below, but first let me tell you this. In no certain order, we need yellow onion, garlic cloves, green pepper, celery, bacon drippings, parsley, ham, smoked ham if you have it, bay leaf, make sure you crumble it, thyme, cayenne pepper, salt, tomatoes, tomato sauce, cold water, rice, shrimp, the chicken, and the sausage if you're going to put it in there. If you're going to do just chicken, then do 3 times the amount I have here. And then if you're going to do, all of seafood, then you do the same thing with that. But here I'm going to include ham, chicken, and shrimp, and some sausage, some smoked sausages. All right, y'all know what I always say. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So let's get to it. I'm going to use a Dutch oven. You can use a pan, a pot, whatever you want to use to cook this. Into a pan, we want to heat it up, and we want to put some oil in it, some corn oil, olive oil, whatever kind of oil you want to use. You want to put the chicken in, and we want to sprinkle a little bit of the seasoning on there. You know what I always say, season your food every step of the way. Do not heavily season this chicken, because you're going to season this jambalaya again. So don't put too much, because it's very hard to take salt out of a dish. It's easier to put more in than it is to take out. So let's keep that in mind and moving forward. All right, we're going to brown the sausages. Smoked sausage, you want to use kielbasa, whatever kind of smoked sausage you want to use. You use Polish sausages if you want to. Andouille sausage, which is the original recipes do call for andouille sausage, but I live in an area where it's very hard to come by. As a matter of fact, only recently have I been able to find it at certain stores where I live. So I use smoked sausage in place of that. All right, so remember andouille sausage. Okay. All right, so we want to brown it. You're going to notice that the bottom of the pan is getting brown. Don't worry about it. That's all of our flavor bits. It's going to come off and be in our food, so you don't want to burn it. Put a little bit more oil in there, and then you want to put the celery, the green peppers, the onions in there. Now what you see there is I've diced those. Either dice them or small chop. Don't make them too big, though. You want everything in here bite-sized, but for those things, we're looking for the flavor for those veggies. So we're not necessarily looking for the crunchy texture of having veggies in a dish. So, all right, dried parsley there. Use fresh if you want to. Remember I said a crumbled bay leaf. Crumble it. Usually we'll put bay leaves in a dish and then we'll remove it at the end, right? Nope, crumble the bay leaf up and put it in here. So all of that, you want to stir this. You want to cook it until the onions are translucent. Once the onions are translucent, then we'll move forward. Right, they're cooked enough and the onions are indeed translucent. So I'm going to add the diced tomatoes and the tomato sauce to that veggie mixture. All right, you want to stir this really well. Pan is still hot. Again, I have an 8-quart Dutch oven here, so a pot, a heavy bottom pan, it'll work for you. All right, that's the water we needed, cold water. So pour it into that mixture. Because remember, we got to have some kind of liquid to cook the rice when you think about it. And we're going to talk about that, or rather I'm going to list it in the description box down below. But if you want to use a long grain rice, I would recommend it. I do not recommend short grain rice. So if you find a medium, or you want to use a jasmine or a basmati rice, those will work. All right? Even a yellow rice will work if that's all you have. Yep. Your kitchen, your rules, but it'll work. All right, we want to taste right here. We want to adjust the seasoning. So if you need more salt, anything you think you need more of right here. But again, at this point in the dish, do not heavily salt it right here. If it's just pretty bland to you, then add some salt, garlic powder, onion powder. Put some seasonings in there. You know how to cook. I'm telling you. If you're on my channel, you know how to cook. I'm sure of it. All right, there we go. That's a little sea salt. All right, so we got pink Himalayan salt right there. I'm going to stir that around. And so I find with sea salt as opposed to table salt gets your food saltier very quickly, to me, quicker. So in using sea salt, that's why you have to be generous if you use sea salt, because it can get it really salty if you're heavy-handed with it. But if you're not, then just put it in little by little. You'll see you'll get the effect of the salt that you're looking for. All right, so you saw that the pink Himalayan salt, I did show it to you. I started to use that pink Himalayan salt, but decided not to. I decided that the sea salt was actually enough. And so what you saw me put in there with the sea salt, that was sea salt flakes. Not that it makes a difference. Sea salt is sea salt. Shoot. All right. It is. I'm just saying. All right, so what I just put in there is Cajun seasoning, Creole seasoning, whatever you want to call it. It's Cajun seasoning. I put it in there. And you're most often going to find it labeled under the Creole seasoning. All right, so next I'm going to add the rice into it. You don't even have to bring it to a boil. Just add the rice to it. So it's going to come to a boil. Keep your heat on a medium or medium high. All right, so make sure you have tasted this multiple times and you have put in any seasonings that you deem necessary. Yep, so stir that really well. And now is the time. We're going to bring this to a boil. And after we bring it to a boil, I'm going to turn it down and cover it until the rice cooks. So the same way that you would normally cook rice is how you'll cook this. So if you don't have a tight-fitting lid, you know what? Let me go to it and show you what you can do if you don't have a tight-fitting lid. But before we get to that, mix your meat in. So mix your chicken, your sausage. We're going to put the shrimp in still later because we're going to let these flavors marry. So we're going to let them cook into the chicken, which is already cooked, and the sausage. It's going to get in there, then we'll deal with it. So the final thing that you will do is put that shrimp in there and let it steam and then mix it in. All right? All right, so we've covered it. We had it covered for like 15 minutes. We're going to put the shrimp in so you can see they're raw. Please do not use cooked shrimp in here. Please no. All right, so those raw shrimp, you're just going to pat them in there. You can put more shrimp if you like. I have so much meat in here, and I'm the shrimp lover in the house, so I only put a few. All right, so I'm going to cover that up for a couple more minutes. Now we're going to come back. Check this out. Look what I did. The lid wasn't fitting as tightly as I needed for it to, so I put that aluminum foil on the top of it and then put the lid on the top of that. That will steam your rice perfectly. But when you do that, you put that aluminum foil on there, make sure the heat by that time is off, so your rice is almost cooked. Check that out. Perfect jambalaya, everybody. Yep, perfect every single time. Here's a close-up. Y'all better go make this. I'm so serious. Y'all better go make this. Thanks for watching, everybody. See y'all next time. For more great recipes, tips, and ideas, check out some of my other videos.